I'm going to lock myself in a motel room with a bottle of tequila and 3 she-boys.
Hello and welcome to the final podcast, the last podcast you'll ever listen to.
Booze, brews, and horror movie reviews. Your final bros have survived.
We are here with Brian Hotboy LaGrosta.
Timothy Chalamet is that bad.
He's that baddie.
As always, we have Shane, my hair is dangerous, Smith.
It's so dangerously straight.
I'm just taking orders from Brian.
Orders, I love orders. So does
He's a
Sarge in
big
this
orders
film.
guy.
We're also here, as always, with the cannibal gypsy himself, Mike G.
Yo, am I going to fall asleep this recording session?
Probably.
No, I'm not as tired as I was last time.
That's good.
And Maddie with the stick, producing as always.
Big old stick over there.
Yeah, here we are, which Matt always says, here we are. Yep. Because we're here.
We are here.
Finally have arrived.
We're here.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happiest of New Year. 2025 is going to be a big year.
How'd your guys' New Year's go?
It was wonderful.
It was great.
The drones are actually government surveillance cameras from Mars.
Oh, I like how you're trying to
fucking
segue
like
this.
what you did.
Yeah, because they're watching us because they're getting ready to open a portal to hell.
Is this how you? Is this like what you try to do to make it an impossible segue happen? Okay. I'm in. You know what's funny because we're watching Doom as we're talking about the movie we're going to review, which is the 2005 Doom Karl Urban rock project.
Yes. We should also mention this is the very first week of Bad Movie January. Should also mention I think there's a cat meowing outside.
There's definitely a cat meowing. There's definitely droning though. Droning. You see that?
Yep.
Full circle. I like this new setup so I could openly flail my legs
Just
without.
don't kick the cat.
There's a cat here, but if there wasn't, I could openly flail my legs.
Because you get dangerously close to the cat's snoot. I'll tell you what Brian's going to do. He's going to give us massive amounts of orders. Because Brian, he just orders me around.
You see
all
this?
he does. He rules with an iron fist.
If this fist was iron, it'd belong to Brian.
So Doom obviously is a video game adaptation of the classic game franchise. I think the first game, I really don't know, Matt. Maybe this is a look up, get to work. I think it's on Super Nintendo.
It is.
Is it before?
Technically, it came out on PC
PC
first,
first?
was ported to Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
I just know that.
Growing up, it was a great game, but I will be honest, it's not a game I played for the story, so I actually have no idea whether or not this is a good adaptation. I did my own research, and a lot of people say not only is it a bad video game adaptation, it is a pathetic video game adaptation.
So I actually am a big Doom guy.
Oh.
I also can tell you the main character is called the Doom Guy.
Yeah.
And I can also say that this adaptation makes no sense because the whole idea is that the UAC found the portal to hell and the demons come through the portal and that's how everyone gets infected and killed. So this whole chromosome 24 thing, I don't know where this is coming from.
Yeah, this is just for major motion picture viewing.
Because the whole thing is Doom Guy is a space marine and he's trying to send the creatures back to hell. But hell is never even really mentioned in this movie.
They mentioned in the beginning that the portal, archaeologists found a portal to hell in Area 51 or Nevada or something.
Yeah, but they don't actually use that in the movie, right? Because everything's about chromosome 24.
Yeah, that's where I thought the portal was the Ark. I thought they were using the Ark to get no, sorry, there wasn't a portal to hell. It was a portal to Mars.
Right.
Right. I apologize. Yeah. I think it was a portal to Mars, or there was that's what the Ark is, right? So they go to this Area 51 place and they take the portal from where they are to Mars through the Ark.
Accurate.
But
the whole thing is in Doom, they find the portal to hell on Mars, I think.
Yeah. I know, and I'm a little confused too because they also mentioned that aside from the portal, there is a dig area to get there. So maybe not only is there the portal to Mars, but maybe through the dig site there's another way to get to Mars. I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's not clear.
Shane, you played Doom for the good old fashioned kills, or were you following along with the?
Well, I mean, to be fair, the Super Nintendo doesn't have like a story. The story is more just you're on Mars, the portal to hell is open, and you have to fight the demons.
That's what I was telling Matt. Like you're just like engaged in a first person shooter, like right away with very little to
like the
for
newer
story.
Doom games. Yes, like I've played Doom Eternal and I've played Doom.
Doom Eternal's good.
It's a great game.
Yeah, it's
but
good.
the whole idea is the UAC. Some of them have now tried to make hell on Earth. Like some of the scientists want the demons to be unleashed, and you're trying to stop that as the space marine that's against this. But like, none of that is in this movie. Like
Doom, like a pioneer for like FPS.
Yes, 100%.
What year is the first one?
I think the one in Super Nintendo, I think was 94. Matt, you want to?
Holy fuck, Matt!
He's got 93.
Yeah, it says 93 on it.
So like Doom and Wolfenstein, right? Both by id
Correct.
Software are the two pioneers of like,
Wolfenstein 3D was 1992.
Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
And then,
That you're killing Nazis.
And then also after Commander Keen, 1990s to 1991.
Yeah, those are like all the pioneers of the first-person shooter. I mean, we could talk all day about.
Did I talk about the Ark in Doom?
Yes, but the Ark is the portal to hell. That's why it's so confusing because like the Ark just transports them to Mars, but then they have a chromosome that causes. Because the thing is, in this is like a zombie movie almost.
It feels more like a zombie movie than a mutated genome movie.
Yeah, because also in Doom, there's actual like demons. Like there is a fucking floating ball with two eyeballs that shoots fire, and there is like actual like marauders and like just like demonic like things with horns that attack you. None of that is in this.
Shane, so at least on IMDb, I don't know if that's. I'm assuming it's given by the actual site. It's classified as zombie horror as well.
Yeah, it's more of a zombie movie.
So in the beginning, it says one of the signs. It says that a portal was discovered in 2026 to an ancient city on Mars. I'm assuming that the portal is called the Ark. So they're talking about the Old Divide portal from Mars to Old Divide. 20 years later, we're struggling to understand why it was built. And throughout this movie, we'll never find out why that was built. We'll also never find out anything regarding the backstory of both our main characters.
Yeah. So we've touched a lot already. And when we jump... So you know what?
I'm waiting for a fill-in. Can you fill me in, bro?
I'm going to fill you into our spooky pit section.
Okay.
Just do it. Yes, fucking spook it up.
Spook it up. Okay. Doom, or as I like to call Space Marines on Mars, was released in 2005, and I say that because Space Marines are sent to Mars through an Ark portal to quarantine the research station, retrieve the data, but they'll have to deal with mutated 24 chromosome killers to complete their mission. This is directed by Andrzej Barkiak, stars Karl Urban, Rosamund Pike, Dwayne Johnson, Diaby Operai, Ben Daniels, Razak Adadi, Richard Brake, and Al Weaver. Mm-hmm. And those are basically the Space Marines plus Lady Scientist.
All right. So we're in the spooky pit. We don't need to talk about the idea of the movie. Let's talk about right away. We get introduced. Dr. Carmack. The shit's going down on the space station. Arms are getting cut off by doors. Pandemonium.
He's not helping people.
I think scientists are running away, I'm getting, from something.
Something big is chasing them, and it also makes no sense at all.
How was that?
No. Take a sip. It's good.
Because, like, it seems like they're being chased by a big monster, right? But at the end of the day, when you see what they actually fight in this movie, it doesn't add up to what was chasing this guy.
Yo, this takes place in 2026?
Yeah.
So
I think it's even further than that. That's when they mentioned they discover the portal.
Yeah.
So it's probably a little after that.
Yeah, so this is coming up soon, actually, in our future.
So we're going to be living Doom soon.
So the Rock's just going to be yelling orders for a whole hour and 50 minutes.
Rock's looking pretty good in this one. He's got a back tat.
Semper Fi, motherfucker. Yeah. Movie is very quotable. Also, if you like to see Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Karl Urban yell, this is the one for you.
Do you like really weird zoom ins on The Rock's face while he's cursing?
The pan ends and slow zooms on their faces is insane.
It feels like I'm fucking watching Mother with Jennifer Lawrence. The whole
my
fucking
Lord.
movie is like literally just a close up of her face.
What a good movie.
So there,
It's not. Can we do that movie?
we need to do that movie.
Yeah,
we should.
definitely.
We should. If Mikey's
Yeah.
requesting it, we should
We
do.
should
Mother.
100% do it. Mikey
Dude,
doesn't request anything.
We could. There's so much to fucking talk about with Mother. I could talk about it for fucking nights.
I feel like that's a weird like Genesis movie.
It is.
If you catch my drift, like I feel like that's what it was going for.
Bro, the premise of that movie
Or a
is
degenesis.
so fucking good, and it was the movie itself fumbled so hard.
Yeah.
No, it didn't beat you over the head with the same thing for an hour and a half.
It's like a house with holes in it. Okay.
And like Javier Bardem's God, which is honestly kind of accurate.
Yeah, I've seen No Country for Old Men.
I mean, Javier Bardem is like, he's goated. He's so good.
He's so fucking good, dude.
All right, so let's talk about
Like,
this.
hold on. There's like two people, and like we're supposed to think that's not Adam and Eve. I can't with that movie. We'll talk about it when we get to it.
Do you know this guy Goat is Adam Galloway in House of Cards? Totally didn't realize that.
Wait.
But he's the dude that sleeps with his wife throughout the movie. Like he's like that gallery guy.
I never
Yeah.
knew that. That's the art gallery guy?
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Never put that in. That guy.
That guy right there, Goat.
Really?
Good for him.
Adam Galloway, House of Cards.
All right.
What a good ending that show had.
Some say it's the strongest season finale of all time.
Or just season.
Some say it's better than Doom.
Yeah. It's not better than
Me
you.
and Bri watched that shit
No, that was the worst thing
and
ever.
kind of like I don't even
Disbelief.
think we talked afterwards. I
Yeah,
think
we
kinda just, like,
we
looked-
watched the entire season in silence.
Yeah.
If you ever watched a season in silence before, we did.
That's so funny. All right, so let's talk about our Space Marines. They're about to go on break. Portman, Duke, Dodger,
Dodger Destroyer.
yeah, Destroyer,
Dodger, were they reindeers?
Go,
Dasher.
Dasher,
You got Vixen.
Sarge, the Kid, and Cupid.
Shane, did you know growing up my nickname was Sarge?
Yeah, I did know
Everybody
that.
was like, yo, what's up, Sarge? I was like, what's up?
Did you know Sarge was also the head of developmental in WCW in the 90s?
Was he really?
Yeah, he's the one who trained Goldberg.
Look at that.
So that's why Goldberg was a good wrestler. You can thank Sarge. So these guys, they're getting ready
They're giving
to
a
go
mission.
on break, but they're given a mission
Like
because
almost
The Rock
me.
has orders.
He's got orders, and one thing you can know, like if you want to play a drinking game, watch this movie. At any time he yells, Karl Urban yells, or The Rock shouts anything about orders, you got to take a shot because I'm telling you not to do this because you'll die because all he does is talk about orders throughout the entire movie. But yeah, all he does is yell orders throughout the whole film. And like you said, they have an order right now, and they're going to go to Mars.
Yes. They got to get the ass to Maz.
But to get to Mars, there's several layers.
Layers.
So this
Some
was-
would say they're maybe like roughly around 30 seconds from it.
We're not doing that.
I mean,
It's a map of the world.
Oh my God.
now
On
in the
his
video
face is a
game,
map
is
of
there
the
like this weird like ball or something they jump in and just get sucked into it?
No.
Not in the
That's-
original.
that's
There
just
is
this goofy-
eventually like orb balls that like I think transport you from spot to spot eventually, but
Yeah, like, but isn't that in the facility? Like, I feel
Yeah.
like there's no like portal, or maybe I don't remember a portal where you jump in a ball and it brings you to Mars.
no, not in the original. But like in the later games, you do jump through portals that bring you to different parts of Mars. So, but the thing is, actually, I don't even think those games came out yet because I think those are the later Xbox games. So what the fuck is this movie?
That shit
doing?
looks so goofy in this movie.
I will say though, we're talking trash about this movie. This movie,
You love it.
is low key lit. Like if you, all right, it's like Resident Evil, right? Don't think of it as a video game adaptation.
How could you not though?
It's a great movie. It's a horrible.
This is a
Well, okay. Great's I meant great for the first Resident Evil movie because I actually really do like the first Resident Evil movie, not as a video game adaptation. This movie, you take away that it's a Doom video game movie, it's a pretty fun Space Marine zombie flick.
I mean, I would argue that it is a fun movie.
Yes.
Like, it's definitely fun, but
Yes.
it is riddled with just really maybe this is I thought the leads were the weak ones in this movie.
Okay.
Like I love the supporting cast.
Yeah, I think The Rock is absolutely atrocious. In
He's
this movie.
this might be his worst movie. Like
It is. Actually, no, it is his worst movie.
at least that I've seen. Like just the way that he acts and like my God, like the amount of times he yells and just his it might be the writing, but his like heel turn
Makes no
is
sense.
insane. Because his heel turns in WWF were fantastic.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask Mike this, because Mike's a big wrestling guy.
Heel Rock.
Better heel turns, The Rock in this movie or The Big Show every time he does it?
Oh, Rock in this movie.
So you're saying The Big Show's heel turns when he flip-flops every other month is not...
Fucking garbage.
Okay. Yeah, like Rosamund Pike, she's a good actress.
She's great. This movie, she's terrible.
Because like she was the girl in Gone Girl, right?
She's in Gone Girl.
great
She's in
Gone Girl.
Saltburn.
She's great in Saltburn.
She's in a lot of shit though.
I think it's just the script.
It has to be, right?
Because they're making decent, they're making good actors into
Terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is early in their career, but I do agree they're not good in
I mean, at this point, Rock's only like a year or two out
Of
of his, like,
WWE.
his full-time wrestling gig.
True, because this was 05. Rock stopped wrestling in 03.
03 was his last ever like full-time
Same
run.
year.
If you were to look up his filmography, I do believe the first movie he was in was while he was still wrestling, and I think
Scorpion
that was
King.
Scorpion King in 01.
Oh, and The Mummy Returns. He was the Scorpion
Yeah.
King in that. But that was a CGI Rock, and it looked atrocious. But, like, look, I know we have our disagreements on Karl Urban.
We do,
But,
do we have to? Because I feel like it's pretty objective.
I think he's a good actor outside of Doom.
But there's other movies where he's just horrible.
Okay, he's very hit or miss. Because I will stand by. I like him in Ghost Ship. He's great in The Boys. He's really good in Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
But he is
And Star Trek.
Yeah, but he is atrocious in this, and I will agree he's horrible in the
Yeah.
Chronicles of Riddick.
The Chronicles of Riddick is his worst work.
He's
that was
really
that
bad
was
in the
criminal.
Chronicles of Riddick.
Criminally bad.
I think what stands out is that like in The Boys they give him an accent. In
Yeah.
this movie, he doesn't have an accent, but it comes out.
He can't contain the New Zealand.
Yeah.
Like, at all.
And that's what keeps on happening.
happening.
And then when he's yelling, the New Zealand comes out, and you
yeah.
can't understand a word he's saying.
And to be fair, because like I guess when like the Lord of the Rings, he has kind of like a not elvish, but like whatever he would be, kind of like medieval kind of talk, and it kind of works with his.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
if you look at him in this movie, though, he doesn't do anything that is deep. His expressions are so. He looks like he's just like looking at fucking like paint dry and yelling.
Which is crazy because he's very. And Lord of the Rings came out obviously before.
Yeah, he was solid.
He's good in those, but like I can't disagree with you. He is bad in this movie.
Like I do like understand.
He's better than The Rock and Rosamund Pike, though.
If it makes you. Yeah, he is, yeah. Because Rosamund Pike, there's just nothing behind anything she does, and The Rock is just yells constantly, like constant yelling from The Rock. And I always
so
thought The
funny,
Rock.
though.
You said before, like The Rock only plays The Rock. I felt that so much in this
Yeah.
movie. Like he's The Rock, but like on the steroids, on top of the steroids.
Yeah. But the side characters, Richard Brake is so fucking funny.
Yeah, he's good. The Destroyer, Duke are good. The kid's okay.
Yeah.
I like Pinky. Pinky was fun.
Pinky's kind of funny. When Richard Brake, so all right, their Space Marines are going to Mars. They got to go through arc portals, yada yada yada. They're doing a quarantine in a research like facility. I was skipping to this because when he gets there and Richard Brake's like, I'm just gonna have to strip search you girls. The way he like.
The funniest part about that is he says it to like a group of 3, and then another chick walks by and he says it to her.
Which I think he even says girls again to her. Like, he's funny. He's so
this
good.
half body, half wheelchair dude, is he from the video game?
No.
And the
This is
logic,
an added?
the logic behind him having half wheelchair, half human, is because he went through the arc portal, but for some reason was an anomaly, and part of his body ended up somewhere else.
Yes.
Wow.
So
What an interesting add-on.
here's the fun thing, Mike, about this movie is that none of the characters, not a single character in this movie, is in the video games.
Who's like the main character in Doom?
Doom guy. He doesn't have a name.
Name's Doom Guy?
Yes.
That's
He
incredible.
is a silent protagonist that just kills demons. It's literally they made a movie that almost is impossible to make a adaptation of.
Because the movie, the game, for at least the original,
originals
doesn't have much of a story.
Because you have to think, like, this is 05. Matt, I actually do need you to look something up for me. Look up Doom 3 for Xbox 360, what year that came out. Because that's the first Doom game that actually had, like, a linear storyline, I believe. But, like, that might have just came out or not even come out yet.
It was 2004.
So Doom 3 came out the year before this. But I would assume this movie was probably in production then before that. So they were basing it off of Super Nintendo games. Like,
yeah. They were just trying to embellish on a story from the original games.
yeah.
Which didn't have much of a story.
No, it's just a guy kicking. This movie, like, you could do the multiple space marines, right? Like, you can do that, but you have to have them fighting back demons into a portal from hell. That would be so much more interesting than The Rock shouting about orders.
Orders, and I was just so confused about the geography and like what they were trying to do. Like, then the demons were apparently getting through the arc, but like, what happened to those demons? Like, I don't really know the geography. And then they mentioned like this archaeological dig. Like, where does that portal connect? There's a portal. There's a dig. Like, it's not like clear at all.
Yes, like,
And they didn't care to explain it.
no.
I just want to say the storyline that she's an archaeologist and then just randomly becomes a biologist.
Okay.
Is just beyond me.
I was going to bring that up when we got to that scene, but we can talk about it now because we're all over the place. Her not knowing that all of these tests on humans were taking place.
Yeah, it was insane. I was saying the same thing. Like, so basically the main story here is brother and sister. You have
We should mention
Reaper.
that.
Karl Urban is Reaper, who is a part. He works for The Rock. Obviously, he's one of the Marines that's coming in to like contain the breach because the Carmack, Dr. Carmack, made this like video that they were able to see that there was a containment breach and there's like obviously people chasing and killing people. So they're now investigating this, but they also have to bring along her. And when he finds this out, Karl Urban, he's unhappy. He's very unhappy his sister's a part of this. You don't know why yet, but he's unhappy. And she's like, I have to be a part of this because I need to collect the data. Now, according to your point, Shane, they're like the fact she makes it sound like she knows what's going on. But as you watch this, apparently she has no idea what Dr. Carmack was involved in. And apparently Dr. Carmack was leading the project or started the original tests on chromosome 24.
Yes, and to go to that point, there was 6 scientists, right, in this lab. Why is she the only one of the 6 that had no idea? It's like a plot convenience thing that she's the one who doesn't know, but the other 5 who did are all dead.
Yeah, no, I agree.
With that said, though, this movie is lit.
And you love her white pants.
Oh, my God.
And you said you want to wrap them around your head.
Yeah, you just, like a little hat. Just wear the white pants as a hat. But no, like, so the thing is, God, it's like, I've said it on this podcast because we've mentioned Doom a lot. It's such a guilty pleasure movie. And it's like one of the ones that's like 100%, I understand this movie is bad. This movie makes no sense. It's terrible, bad acted. But like, while you're watching it, it's so funny. It's incompetently funny.
Yes.
And I think it's the best way to put it. It was so poorly written, so poorly directed, that each scene you watch is funnier than the last because you're like, what the fuck is going on? It's not, and it doesn't feel dragged out because of the action.
No, there's
like,
a lot of action.
Yeah.
Do you think the action gets, I don't want to say mundane, but you think it gets a little like...
It gets a little alone in the darky at the end.
When they go to the first person shot,
Yes.
I felt like he's fucking Uwe Boll directing this.
Okay,
It's like literally what I
the
thought.
first person scene might be the funniest movie making decision of all time. Because,
I would argue that they had to do it, but it should have been done better.
yeah, like
I agree. They probably should have even done it more and interspersed throughout the movie. I
Yeah.
feel like that should have been done 15 years after this movie was made.
actually, if they had filmed all of the Karl Urban scenes in first person, it actually would have made more sense.
I think it would have been really cool. Like stylistically, I think it would be awesome. The way it looked was terrible.
Yeah.
You know what you got to do? And the issue is it's a movie of a time. It's 2005. You do this movie 10 years down the road, everyone has GoPros.
Yeah, me and Matt were saying, like, you could make it look really raw and really cool. The problem was it looked unrealistic.
Actually, I'm thinking about it now.
Didn't, like, Hardcore Henry do something like that?
It did. The whole movie was first person. But I was even thinking Aliens did it with GoPro. And Aliens came out in 1980s.
That's true.
Because when the Marines are first looking through the stuff, don't they all have the head cameras? Like,
Yeah.
they easily could have done something like this.
It just looked kind of comical.
Yes, because it's so out of place. Like, out of nowhere, the movie's almost over, and he picks up a gun, and now the whole movie's in first person for 2 minutes.
We have to
3 minutes.
understand that's because he took the C-24 and then he became a super beast.
Yes.
You ever just take the C-24 and become a super beast?
Yes, all the time.
Apparently, you didn't choose him.
I love that. The fact that the whatever it is, the chromosome decides if it wants to take you over or not.
Also, the BFG is very underpowered in this movie because the BFG in the games would kill everything. This just takes out like a bathroom stall.
Yeah.
Also, the BFG is green. I don't know why they decided blue was the color.
They went blue. Yeah, they
Is that
went
big
blue.
gun
Yeah.
Rock
Yeah.
gets? Oh.
Oh, literally, BFG stands for big fucking gun.
The BFG so I feel like also the first shot takes out an entire ceiling, and then the second shot, Karl Urban just like fucking jukes it out. Yeah, I'm almost gonna give this movie a 9.
I can't wait till I give
My
this
mic
movie
was
a-
totally off. When
I'm
I
giving
said
this
that, but-
10 out of 10 Lucy Hales.
That's the thing. I didn't explain what we do on this show, and let me describe really quickly midway through our review. So we're a horror review podcast. It's gonna go scene by scene, and as we do that, we're going to detail all of the kills in glory, bloody detail,
yeah.
and then give a review of 1 to 10. But that's not going to be a standard 1 to 10. It's going to be 1 to 10 Lucy Hales, as Shane mentioned. 1 Lucy Hales is a piece of shit. 10 Lucy Hales is what Shane's going to give this movie.
Yeah.
And I just want to throw that in there because you mentioned it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
And if you went like literal though, like even 1 Lucy Hale's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then following those 10 Lucy Hales Shane's going to give this movie, we're going to wrap it up with the best kill of the movie.
Yeah. Oh, I love that part. All right, so let's talk some kills.
Great part.
Basically, it's just space marining around. They're looking for they're just looking for data. They're doing orders. Like, literally, that's the whole thing.
Data and orders. That's Doom.
Until eventually they go into a sewer, and Goat is gonna get got by one of the creatures.
Yeah. So he's going to get his throat bit off by one of them. Can we call them mutants? I don't know what we call them. And then they do this thing where they launch their tongue into it.
Yes.
So his tongue's going to be launched into Goat.
Yeah. It's gonna give him a quick sucking, and then he's gonna die. But he's not gonna stay dead. So this is where the lore gets even more confusing.
So it's like this is where it feels like almost like a zombie movie, right?
Yeah.
Like, so technically, do they die and then like they're just mutating, or is he not dead, fighting off the mutation? Because I feel like they pronounced him dead already.
So this is why I say it gets confusing. So he's pronounced dead, and he's put in that like room.
Yeah, don't they fucking try to defib him?
Yes,
Yeah, he's
and
super
he dies.
dead.
But he comes back, but not as a mutant yet, because he kills himself as he's turning. But
Yeah.
how would he know to kill himself if he died?
If he's dead, yeah. So so that means that he would have some semblance of conscience post death.
Yes.
And also mutated. And also, apparently the C-24 takes over it selects if you are like, it goes by if you are bad or good, if that's your pathological make, like whatever it is. And I guess it chooses Goat as bad, which is weird because I feel like he was one of the characters that was good.
Right. So, because I'm looking at it, like, if you're going to say objectively Karl Urban is a good guy, despite him also being a murderer for, like, a soldier, Goat also would definitely be a good guy. He's a religious guy.
I mean, he does do the weird, like, the old school Da Vinci Code style lashings.
But I wouldn't say that's a
No,
bad thing. It's just a moral code he has.
and-
if anything, it makes him better than the other people he's with.
Yeah, so that's why I don't understand why it would have chose to take the mutated route for him. And apparently, like Karl Urban, yes, he acknowledges he was a bad person in this movie, but when it goes to him and he takes it, it heals him versus turns him into a mutant. Because that's what the code does. You get the 50-50, right? It's like you're either going to heaven or you're going to hell, right? You're getting healed or you're fucking going to mutant. It's 50-50.
It's a 50-50, which is why I'm going to play this game. Mike, go around the room, cat included. Mutant or good guy? If we were to inject
if we were to just pop each other's assholes and put some C24.
Who's turning into a mutant and who's transcending into heaven?
Oh, I'm full mute.
You're full mute, but now you go around the room. Everyone. Me, Matt, the cat, and Brian.
Oh, cat's a mutant for sure. For sure.
Chowder, he's saying that you're bad.
Sorry, Chow.
Look at him.
He's just upset Chowder.
This cat has no idea what's going on.
No,
right
it's so great. I love
now. Or
Chowder.
ever. Just never understands a damn thing. Total mutant.
Total mutant. Have you seen the snot come out of that thing?
It's so great.
Matt's going to heaven.
Okay.
I give him a hard time.
He's a heaven boy.
Kids, bullet to heaven right there.
Okay.
What was that fucking awful?
He's a portal to heaven. Or arc right to
What was
heaven.
that awful Kid Cudi record? Speeding bullet to heaven or some shit.
Yeah.
Look that up.
That was a
Shane, you're a fucking mutant.
Mutant in me.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
You're one of the worst people I've ever known.
Please don't say that I'm going to get caught in the portal and half of my body is be transported
Yeah, I was
elsewhere.
gonna say that, bro. You're kind of like you're gonna get split halfway to heaven.
So you're pinkying Brian.
Bride from like kneecap down is mutant. The rest of his body's going to heaven.
So apparently, Kid Cudi has a lot of things involving. Says Heaven's Galaxy. You got Bullet to Heaven.
That's what I was talking
Speed
about.
And Bullet to Heaven, and then Heaven on Earth.
He's a big heaven guy.
Kid Cudi's super religious, huh?
Well, I'll tell you what he also is. Super
Heaven
in the
at
movie
night.
X.
Very weird how he's in that movie. I kind of liked him in that movie, though.
I did
I
too.
like his afro.
Great in
Yeah,
that movie.
so, yeah, I mean, that is like really hard to justify.
Yes.
Like, I had a hard time with that, but in any case, yes. So Goat is resurrected when the lady's in the lab.
Yes.
I think there's Duke's also in the lab
is.
too.
He sees
'Cause
this.
He's flirting with her and he's trying to bone saw her and there's bone saws everywhere. And Goat is dead but alive. So he's dead alive, Peter Jackson, and he's gonna hit his head up against
Yeah.
the glass.
and kills himself. Can we also say that Duke and her flirting scene might be some of the worst dialogue in the movie?
It wasn't great.
Like, it was actually, my body curled up into
Cringe.
itself.
He tries to sniff her.
Yes, he does.
I think they should have taken the time to really sort their tension out.
You wanted them to explore that
Yeah,
relationship.
for sure.
Potentially on
For
top
sure.
of one of
That
the
shit was
bodies.
hot.
I said if they're gonna put it into the movie, they should have at least done
At
something.
least,
with
right? Give me something.
Personally, I don't think they should have had sex
Feed
at
me.
all. I think he should have sniffed her more. I think he should have just sniffed her up and down.
He should have been like a big sniffer.
Joe
Ima-
Biden it.
Joe Biden. Imagine sniffing someone named Rosamund Pike.
Is she? I think she's a baddie.
Oh, she's
Oh, she
definitely
is.
she's pretty.
She's also
For
a great
sure.
actress, just not in this movie.
But imagine sniffing her. You'd enjoy that?
Mike,
you-
Mike,
are you a big
answer this
sniffer?
question carefully because you might go straight mutant.
I already told you I'm mute.
Oh, so yeah,
full
you're Mike
mute.
sniffing. Mike sniffing.
I mean, I'm no trog. We all know that.
No one's
I'm not a
Don't be
trog.
a troglodyte.
But I'm full mute though.
One thing we didn't mention, Shane, you mentioned we did watch the unrated movie, which I think adds an extra 6 to 8 minutes
Yes.
to this, where there's basically just more action shots, probably more first person nonsense. But also, you do see the girl that gets her arm ripped off in the beginning when
Yeah.
when Carmack basically closes the door to try to
yes,
contain the
she
breach.
is naked in a locker room and they gun her
Rosamund
down.
Pike is?
No, the other girl.
Oh,
I got real excited.
Yeah,
She's got quite a set on her.
Okay.
They're barking at me.
Okay. Yo, you are a mutant. You're straight mutant, dude.
I never tried to deny
And
this.
you did not. We might have to put you down.
Yeah.
You're getting a little crazy.
I think so. The mutant that bites Goat is named Dr. Willits. It's one of the
Yes.
scientists, and that's the body that they discover, and that's the one she runs tests on and discovers like, hey, this is actually a human being that turned into this mutant.
I love that scene's so funny because she's like, it has a heart. You know, rats have hearts as a kidney. Goats have kidneys,
Yeah,
right?
it's insane.
Yeah,
Shane,
it's
when are we getting to the first person nonsense?
that's actually
We're getting there.
we're getting
slowly.
there,
I think
slow and steady.
we could talk about the Destroyer death next. I think he's the next one to go.
No, isn't it Mac? Mac gets his.
Oh, Matt, he gets his head just like knocked off by
Yeah.
one of the mutants.
It's okay. So actually, it's Mac then that. So basically, they split up into groups because they're going to try to neutralize any of the threats. So it's the Sarge, Reaper, and Mac all go together. Mac gets his head slapped off.
He literally just gets it swiped off.
It's dark. You can't see anything. And then Destroyer and Richard Brake's character, they go on their mission. Richard Brake's got to take a poop, but the poop is actually to call in reinforcements.
Yes.
But that also is what gets Destroyer killed because these are the worst space marines of all time and they have no peripheral vision, so they never see things coming from their sides.
Correct.
Despite them being huge hulking monsters. And the Destroyer fight is weird because...
I mean, he fights a full-blown mutant.
Yes, but it's like funny because he gets knocked off of a pedestal and falls far down.
He falls right down into that hole.
Now, that's a really far fall.
You'd think it would break his spine.
Yes, he's going to fall less later, and that's what kills him, which is what kind of got me confused.
Good point. I mean, like, he gets fucking wrecked. The mutant, like basically just, like, throws him into electric walls
Yes.
and, like, hits him all over the place. He's bleeding like crazy, and he's still fighting him. I do find it comical when the Space Marines just start punching the mutants.
Yes.
These ginormous mutants.
He's also swinging the computer by its wires and like starts beating him with it. Also, like he gets held up against the electrical wall for like 30 seconds and lives.
He lives through a lot. And like you said, the thing that kills him is a lesser fall when he tries to climb on the chain to get out of the hole. I love how they just like fucking super pitfall try to climb up the chain to get out of the giant hole.
Oh my God, it's so
And
funny.
He does get knocked off and falls to his untimely demise.
Yes. The Rock finds the BFG in between this scene.
I feel like Rock should have popped his shirt off. It's
The shirt should have been off
halfway through the movie.
Yeah, I agree.
He's a space marine. He ain't popping off. So Richard Brake is going to get grabbed. He's in the bathroom stall. He's going to get grabbed and fucking swung and beaten into the stall walls, which are the strongest stall walls of all time.
Very strong stall walls.
Say stall walls 5 times fast.
Stall wall, stall wall, stall wall, stall wall.
It sounds like
said
you're
those
saying
4.
Star Wars, but you're clipping it short and saying Star Wall.
Sounds like he's saying like medical examiner, like in a really weird.
Molecular.
Oh, I love when we do little teasers. To the later
That's a movie we're
We're
reviewing. Troy.
we're a teasing podcast,
yep,
right,
yep.
Matt?
You get their statement.
So when Portman gets banged around by the mutant in the stall, he's hanging around like a bat.
He really is. And I love how The Rock doesn't hesitate to just shoot the BFG at him.
Oh, and this is what I'm saying. He like basically takes out the entire ceiling with the blue BFG shot.
Yes. And
it's clearly blue.
And it clearly kills Richard Brake because they go to his charred remains.
Yeah, he's got like remnants of the BFG blue on him.
Yes. So now we're down to just it's Duke, it's Rosamund, it's Grim, Reaper, I guess was his name, right?
Grim Reaper.
Yeah. Sarge and
the Nano
the
Wall.
kid.
And the Nano Walls.
And I'm Pinky.
Pinky.
Now in the video game, is there like the sexy female lead?
No.
There is not a female in those video games.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that is the ultimate. Doom is the ultimate bro game. I don't even think there's a female remotely in there.
The thing is, like, I'm thinking Super Nintendo. I don't think there's other characters besides you in those games.
You're fighting mutants, dude.
Yeah.
Like you're fighting mutants. You're picking up files and key cards. You're opening stuff.
So that's the thing. Yeah, you're picking up blue cards.
You're picking up
yellow
shields.
cards, red cards.
You
It's
get to
basically a soccer if you killed mutants.
You get to look at your Space Marine haircut, and then when you're looking at your own face, you get to see what condition you're in, and you know you're bad. You need a shield.
Yeah, because so your face is on the screen. So if you're like,
that's your health bar. Is your
health
face.
bar is your face. So if you've been beaten, you have like a nosebleed.
So the arc's a big thing in Doom because I learned that from Halo.
The Ark is not a thing in Doom. I don't remember hearing
The
about
Ark is a thing in the later games, I think. But like, hold on, Doom Ark law. Let's
Look up the Ark law
When-
of Doom, and then Carmack's tongue.
I
Let's
love
talk about
his mouth here.
His
Ark.
mouth is moving.
Great.
debut in Doom.
I love how they talk about chromosome 24 when she discovers it through looking at like the microscope, and she like through the middle of this to discover because there's this like test subject Lucy that was a mutant that was like shielding her child, and Reaper called out like, hey, no mutant would be protecting her child, they'd be fighting. So that's weird how this person took the positive approach, and that's how they found out like the mutation could be good as well as bad. But when they discover that, and they discover Dr. Carmack goes completely bonkers, he becomes a mutant. Like I said, Willits becomes a mutant, and then they go into the lore of the original test. And the original test shows a test subject. I forgot the name of the test subject, but he was basically a death row inmate that was going to be executed. They lower him into the hole, and they give him the C-24 to see his reaction when he was like basically test subject number 0, and he just gets lesions everywhere, complete and total mutant. And that's, I guess, the original discovery of how they found out that it can mutate someone who is, I guess, quote unquote, a bad person. But they totally put the impetus on the genome itself into the actual medicine to decide who is going to be infected and in what way. And for me, I always had a hard time. Well, watch this. I had a hard time just understanding that, because it seems like good people become bad sometimes.
Yeah.
Bad people become bad, but it's just like, and then the Rock gets infected, and he does become a mutant, but he's infected way before he mutates.
Oh yeah, so we're gonna talk about that in a second. I just want to go back to the Ark real quick. The Ark actually is the Armored Response Coalition, which is a group of people against the mutants. So the Ark has nothing to do with portals and
It's just like a group.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's all a fucking mess.
Yeah, but I was just mentioning the part where they lowered the original test subject into
and
Carmack
it's
really
all
discovers,
that.
and Rosamund Pike knows nothing about that.
Makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
It's funny because her acting in that scene is she's just like, I'm here for the research.
Yeah, no, her acting, the research data. That's easy painful. And then I have Karl Urban just like, man down.
Okay.
It's his first mission.
Well, let's talk about that scene because everyone's dead. They're full quarantine, getting things done, and then they get the call that something has breached the Ark. So they run back, and Pinky is missing. So then they go through the Ark, and they're like searching, and like everyone's dead. So some creature got through the Ark and has killed everyone, and they're double tapping, shooting all the things. The kid finds a group of alive people.
He thinks like about 20 people that were alive.
Yes. So then they all gather back in the main room, and they find Pinky, and they're like, why did you go? He's like, you came at me so fast, I didn't have time, yada, yada, yada. The kid comes back, and the kid's like, I found 20 people. They're held up. And this is when The Rock, out of fucking
He just
nowhere,
full heel turn.
There's a switch.
Yeah.
A fucking switch is flipped in his brain.
Because you have orders, and if you don't obey orders, there's anarchy.
Yeah, he tries to play like the Marine commander, but he does it like in a way that's borderline evil.
yes.
Like it's beyond recognition. Like can't even surmise his heel turn here.
Technically speaking, he's not following the orders either, because his orders were to kill the aliens, not the people that are not.
Tell that to him. Like
That's not, you know what that sounds like, Matt? Insubordinate. What is it? What is the word?
Insubordination.
Insubordination.
punishable by death. No, he uses another word.
Yeah.
Because like
Insurrection or something? Like
it's mutiny.
mutiny.
Yeah.
All I know is it just leads to him shooting the kid through the throat, of all places, the most painful place to kill someone.
Yeah, because they're not gonna die instantly.
Yeah.
He's gonna suffer, a poor guy.
And then Karl Urban has to yell, it was his first mission.
Spit just coming out of his mouth.
But the Rock's retort were, and it's not going to be my last.
The Rock is crazy here. Oh my god, the amount of times he says the word orders. It's insane. That's a direct order.
And then
follow your order.
it leaves to Pinky getting grabbed from behind by the fucking creature and it's just swinging him around. By the way, this is probably the biggest tie to the video game out of all because I'm going to pull it up for reference. There's a villain in Doom named Pinky. It's this thing, which is what they try to make him in the first person scene.
Whoa.
So that's like what you fight in Doom. That's Pinky.
That's Pinky.
Yes.
So basically, that's the mutated version of that's where they were trying to go.
Yes,
for.
when he's fighting them in the first person with the chainsaw and it's that thing attached to a wheelchair, that's their version of the Pinky monster, which is probably the best part of the whole movie.
Maybe,
for being honest, but
I mean, it's a thing. It's Pinky. It's full mutation, right? But it also has the wheelchair attached to it.
yes, it's bad. It's great, but it's bad. So this leads then to them like running through the nano wall. They're struggling with the nano wall. Duke gets pulled through a grate from...
Yeah, he gets killed by getting pulled through a grate by a mutant. He just gets destroyed, decimated, sliced up.
The Rock gets pulled through the nano wall, and he has the best line in the whole movie. I'm not supposed to die.
Like, what does that mean? See, that means that like you're here to protect your team and be the leader for your team, and then you're like, I'm not supposed to die. Like, it doesn't even like.
I almost felt like it was a meta reference to like him being the Rock, and the Rock doesn't die.
I guess, maybe.
Is that part of like Rock's lore?
He's actually this. I think the only movie he's ever died in.
Whoa.
Right? Like he's the hero in literally every other movie he's ever been in.
He never plays bad guys. You're right. He rarely plays a bad guy.
So,
Well, think about it. He is so bad in this movie, and he recovers, and not too long from this point was like the highest paid actor in Hollywood.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I
which
remember
is
that.
fucking gnarly. Because
Like-
if you look at this movie and this movie alone, how did he do that?
but the thing is, like, he's good in like the Fast and Furious movies. He's entertaining as fuck in those. He was like his comedy roles. Like, say what you want, but The Tooth Fairy is a pretty funny movie.
How about Be Cool?
I like them and Be Cool.
You love Be Cool. Shane.
good
You
movie.
love to be cool.
You love the Rundown.
And El Royale with cheese.
You love the Rundown.
Rundown's a great movie.
Sean William Scott.
Game Plan.
Yeah.
Good movie. Like,
Gridiron Gang, your favorite.
yeah.
Coach Carter.
No, Rock's not in Coach
He's not in
Carter.
that movie.
Not in it, but I mean, it's a good movie though.
It's a good movie. That's why I was just confused. 'Cause, like, I was
Samuel,
like,
baby.
Matt, the fact check Coach Carter. I
The
think,
Rock is not in
I
Coach
think
Carter.
he's in it.
Is he is he coming off the bench? Is he a six man?
Okay, this
Is
is
he a producer?
this is crazy. He's definitely not in that movie. He's definitely not the assistant coach.
Confirmed. Definitely not in that movie.
Who's in Coach Carter?
It's Sammy L.
Yeah, Samuel Jackson.
And, like, Michael
Rick
B.
and
Jordan.
Jones, Channing Tatum.
Tatum. That's who I think I got them confused.
Is Tatum? Was he?
The Rock and Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
Is Tatum their stop and pop guy? Like, what is he doing in that movie?
He's like
Does he play JJ Reddick in that movie?
well,
He's
depending
gonna
on-
make a name for himself, but hey.
Oh, Shaney.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. So anyway, The Rock is gonna come back as The Rock, but with like sharper teeth.
Yes, he's like in this battle. He's just mutated mid battle.
Yes, but wait, whoa! I'm sorry, I skipped the first person scene because the first person scene happens first,
You
and
did.
we have to go into detail of this
You
first person
can.
scene
Basically, The Rock is going to get into a fight with him
Karl Urban after
the first person.
Was
scene.
The Rock justified in wanting all the everything dead? That was the mission.
I'm
That was the mission.
gonna say probably not, because I know it's a tough situation to be in, and his order was to basically quarantine but bring back anybody that was not contaminated or save everything. He couldn't really justify who was contaminated or not, but he had this whole team that were saying, and including the scientist, that was like, hey, I'm looking, there's no bite marks, they're fine. And he was just like, this is an order. I think he took that to the next level.
Yeah, he went a little too hard in the order paint.
Like the kid, his shoot to kill. That was the kid's order. He didn't listen. He got popped in the neck.
Yeah, but like,
I love heel rock.
this is crazy.
Shane, so apparently it took them 14 days to shoot the first person scenes.
How inefficient can you possibly be?
Just for absolute, like...
No joke, we could
disaster.
walk outside and do a first-person scene and have it be almost as good as that.
I actually agree with you because I think the way they did it looked so fucking ridiculous.
Well, they filmed it like it was fucking House of the Dead arcade game where things popped up in front of you because then one guy just goes,
Yeah.
and then they just get shot.
Wow.
Like,
swinging the chainsaw.
2 weeks and who knows how much money on a scene like that, man.
it's bad. Like, it's just so out of place. It's funny. Like, I laugh while watching it because like when he like starts using like the like flamethrower function and like all this other, he just gets a chainsaw out of nowhere because now the mutant is just wielding a chainsaw.
I know.
Like, it's pandemonium.
It really is just total chaos. And
Yeah.
I felt they were forcing it in to tie in the game. And like I said, if done better, I think it's really cool, but it was not done well, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, and the timing of it at the very end, I feel like if interspersed throughout the film, like you said, with Reaper being that first person, would have been a totally better choice.
Yes.
What video game has like the best, did zombies the best?
Video game?
Last of Us, I think, in my opinion. That's my personal opinion.
I would agree with that.
What about Left 4 Dead?
Oh, that one's good too.
Yeah, that one's
That's a
good.
little bit more like a ridiculous game because
Yeah.
types of zombies.
I mean, it depends how you look at it. Resident Evil's evolution of zombies I
Yeah.
always like because I like that the zombies evolve in that.
Any one of the first 4 Resident Evils I really love.
Dead
So that's different,
Rising
too.
is another like
That's another great series.
because I like how Dead Rising also puts the psycho aspect where people go crazy during the zombie apocalypse.
And then there's Zombies Ate My Neighbors for Super Nintendo.
Classic,
It's a
fucking classic. There's just a baby on the lawn. You got to save it.
Doesn't Call of Duty have zombies?
That's different, but it's actually a lot of fun.
It
It
is
is
fun.
a lot of fun, but I wouldn't say it's the
It's
best.
it's not like a
adaptation.
good zombie game in terms of
I
like
think,
being a zombie.
I think, in my opinion, Last of Us is definitely up there for sure.
Because The Last of Us, it's like a fungal infection, right? That turns
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah,
into zombies.
it's
I like
def-
that.
it's definitely
more of a
different.
realistic take on like how
And
zombies
you really
would
have to like they really show like the rationing and things like that, like certain shivs, like you
It's,
really
Yeah.
have to-
it's true. It's like true survival. Like,
Yeah,
it's a little different.
And The
but yeah.
Last of Us 2, one of the best games ever made, from what I've heard.
great game as well.
Totally.
But
Well, it's definitely not as good as the first.
no, the first is iconic.
Oh, you got the Flood.
Flood and Halo is also very good. It's I like it's almost like Last of Us where it's like an infection that causes it the people to turn. So I mean I like that.
When I saw this first person shooter like scene, I automatically thought of Halo. I thought of Halo, and then I also thought of Gears, but primarily Halo because that has to do more with like aliens and whatnot.
Yeah.
Does Gears have zombies?
No, Gears doesn't.
No,
Gears
but-
has locusts.
But like the way, just like the different movements and whatnot, it just reminded me of Gears going like
With
going
the
on there.
way he kind of with the gun swaying,
Right.
yeah.
I kind of hated how this movie made them to be like zombies. Like
They should have just been demons. I don't
Yeah.
understand why they went as like yes, in Doom there are like the scientists and Marines that attack you, but like Doom is more than that. It's just yes, they're on Mars, but it was a portal to hell.
They added like all this chromosome stuff and how it manipulates your body, and like I'm like these are just people they're literally insurgent demons from hell. Like
Yeah,
like,
why couldn't you just make it that on Mars there is a portal to hell, and during the archaeological dig they accidentally opened the portal? It's a very easy.
So, one other tidbit.
Give me that tidbit. Actually, don't give it to me. Put it in Shane's ass.
Shane,
Ayo.
take
I'm just
that.
gonna listen, Matt. We're not gonna do the ass stuff.
Okay.
I agree. Apparently, so the names of the scientists, Dr. Todd Carmack and Dr. Willits, is reference to Todd Hollinshed and John Carmack and Tom Willits, co-owner of ID Software, which was the original creator of the Doom game.
In your opinion, the people that made this movie, do they like or care about Doom?
No.
Do they care about money?
Yes.
It's like the people that made the Halo TV show that clearly aren't fans.
Well, the guy who like was Master Chief hated wearing the helmet, so he never wore it in the show. I hate everything.
The The thing I could only think of is like if it's a big studio, it's like maybe some guy has like a vision of what he wants to make, and studios are like, nope, we're not doing that. We're literally scrapping away any artistic integrity that you have, and what we're gonna do is throw in big guns and big sex.
Yeah.
Except that we didn't get the big sex.
No, we just got bad flirting.
Should have. Like right here, they should have just went at it.
So yeah, basically after both The Rock and Karl Urban have the gene injected into them, it's good versus evil, fight versus fight. They just fight. It's just a classic fight scene. There's nothing like special. They like they do the whole thing. It's like, how much you got left? Half a clip.
He shoots the
round.
BFG and completely misses Carl.
Which is impossible. Literally impossible.
You say that there's nothing special about this fight scene. How about
Counterpoint? You have a counterpoint?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
How about the fact that they were leaping like 15 feet in the air?
What's the chromosome, Brian? The chromosome.
So it also gives them the ability to literally leap 20 feet per step?
Yes. They also can take more damage than any people ever
These are the
have.
fucking Bruce Lee chromosomes.
Oh my god.
This movie turned into martial arts Doom.
It was literally Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon at the very end.
Jackie Chan vehicle?
No.
Oh,
It's someone Asian. I don't know who though.
okay.
It was a movie 2003. It's got a lot of
I think earlier.
a lot
than
of
that.
buzz,
I wanna say
maybe.
2000 Crouching
Maybe.
Tiger, Hidden Penis.
Matt, do a fact check on
from
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
I'm gonna say 2000. I'm gonna
Give us
say,
a year.
I'm gonna say that's an Ang Lee feature.
Brian is correct. 2000.
Damn, way to go, Bri.
Ang Lee,
Was it Ang Lee?
Life of Pi, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
I don't see that name. There's a lot of different.
Lee's.
Yeah, a lot of
There's no
different
directed
Chinese
by.
names
If you
and-
go to what's it directed by, give us a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Doom.
Timothy Chalamet, I think, directed
you are
this one.
correct, Ang Lee.
Wow, Brian nailed it.
I think the movie was actually up, believe it or not, for Academy Awards.
It was
almost
yeah,
positive.
It was. All right. So
Go down that real quick,
Yeah,
right
go
there.
down.
If you go to one Oscar, that section.
Oh, yeah.
It won awards.
4 Oscars.
Probably cinematography.
101 wins and 132 nominations total.
Good for that.
Yeah,
movie.
probably won a couple of Saturns.
Yeah, love that. Love that for that movie.
Yep.
All right, so the rocket's like thrown into the ark, right, as it's about to explode,
Yeah, he gets thrown in the ark.
and then the Reaper and his sister ride the elevator.
Yep. That's the end of the movie, Shane.
Yeah.
That's literally how it ends. They ride the elevator and it's over. Question for you. Throughout this movie, or especially early on, they mentioned their backstory because they were like they were estranged. And she's
Their
like,
parents were killed on Mars.
their parents were killed on Mars, but like, is it because they were killed? And he heard that in a flashback that they're like dissociated and he no longer wanted to be a scientist and he wanted to become a Marine?
I think the idea is that since he has dead parents who were scientists, he's so scarred by science, he wanted to become a Marine and kill scientists.
And works along with scientists.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a weird one because they kind of kept bringing it up and they talked, and I feel like they never really came full circle with that story.
Now,
Yeah.
this movie was great. So my review here we go.
Oh my god.
So yeah, does it sound like we trash talked this movie the entire time? I'm asking you, Mike.
Oh, you were talking to me.
Yeah, did it
talking to me directly.
Yeah, did it sound like we trash talked this movie the entire time?
Kind of.
Did it sound like we gave this movie any props?
Are there like mutant dogs in Doom?
No.
Why are there so many dogs in this movie?
Actually, that dog never comes back, right?
No.
But even before you see a bunch of dogs in
I'm pretty sure he
cages.
gets killed by I'm pretty sure they show the scene where they get literally all the animals are killed.
Killed. Okay, that's fair. You know what? I'm going to say this, right? This movie is fun. Like, and that's all it is.
Did we talk about this
Because-
tongue?
Yeah, we talked about the tongue.
Okay.
Because this movie's it's nonsensical. It's one of the, I'm gonna say, top 3 worst adaptations of all time from video game to screen. It's just so bad. You have to watch it. It's one of those, right? Like, if you're a Doom fan, you need to see this because you need to see all the wrong things that happen in this movie, but you also need to see The Rock's acting.
What if you're not a Doom fan?
Well, you have to watch it for The Rock because I've never seen This is the worst good guy to bad guy turn in a movie. Top 5 minimum I've ever seen. Because it actually just doesn't make sense why he is so gung-ho on these orders. They do say he's the leader, but there's never like a backstory that like he like didn't follow an order and someone died, or like there is just like in his brain is so programmed to follow orders that like he doesn't know the difference between good and evil. It's only orders and more orders.
Maybe he's got a chip in there. A chip in his brain.
So I think with
An
all
order
that
chip.
said, I'm going to give this movie a 6 out of 10.
Holy fuck.
Like, I would watch again. 6 out of 10.
How many times have you seen this?
Fuck, 7?
You fuck 7?
Fucking 7 times I've seen this movie. It's a fuck 7. But I'm giving it a 6 out of 10.
Okay, I'm gonna take that 6 and flip it around.
9?
I'm just kidding. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that 6 and cut it in half. This movie's a 3.
Mike!
It's a fun 3 though. Like, take away like the obviously bad directing and acting and dialogue, especially the dialogue. And my God, the acting. It's a fun watch if you just toss that to the side.
Right. 6.
But like the fun is not that fun though. Because like right before this review, I think like in Bry's kitchen, I was like, damn, Doom's like big lit. And then the more we talk about this movie, there's like nothing to it besides really weird close-up shots.
Yeah.
A terrible POV scene. And God, the acting. Yeah.
So 5.
Props to The Rock, though, man. He made a real career for himself, despite how dog shit he is in this movie.
So you're sticking with 3?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with 3.
All right, Brian.
A fun 3, though.
Fun 3.
Yeah. I paused the movie on a screenshot of Karl Urban's face just staring into nothingness. Quite possibly because that's kind of my thoughts on Karl Urban's career up to this point. And even a couple years after he got through all the Riddick movies with vacant expressions and just shouting into nothing. But I know we have a couple of Karl Urban fans on this podcast. Totally good. I know he's good in The Boys and Lord of the Rings and Star Trek and all that nonsense and Dread and whatever. Kind of like a sci-fi guy. But there's also the bad Karl Urban. And this movie, it does represent the bad Karl Urban as well as the bad Rosamund Pike, as well as the bad Rock. I agree with a lot of Mike's points because I think the movie was acted very poorly.
The fucking acting. Dude.
It's really, really bad because they yell and they do close-ups of their face and they have blank expressions and it's very bad. The supporting cast was okay, and I think that's the support. It was a poor adaptation. Do they shoot guns a lot? Yes. So if you like action, I guess maybe this is for you. It just didn't deliver for me in a game franchise that was always fun. But to Shane's point, probably shouldn't have been made in the first place. Because like of all the game franchises to make an adaptation for, Doom is definitely not one of them. Because of the lack of story. I'm giving this a 4. 4 out of 10. I really can't go higher than that.
I mean, you could.
But I would say, because we are in Bad Movie January, that this is probably the best movie we are reviewing. So I just want to leave it there.
Wow. Oh, actually, I will go on record and say nothing that we review for the rest of the month will come close to this.
Yeah,
6.
and I know that sounds... Mike might disagree, actually.
I'll go on record and say you both are crazy. We got some heaters coming up. You watch. You wait and listen. Or if you're watching, wait and watch.
They're full of interesting watches for
Yeah.
sure. None of it is like...
None of it's boring.
Boring, yeah. It's just like... they're not great. I will... Yeah, that's my review.
The Rock has like, dude, 3... He says like all he does in this mission. Orders. Says fuck a lot.
Yeah.
We were just watching the timestamp of 122 to 124 scene where before he shoots the kid in the throat, where he talks about mutinous insurrections punishable by death, and he yells that he didn't follow orders several times. It was the craziest 2 minutes of film I've ever seen.
So, best kill.
I don't even fucking know, dude.
Yeah, because there isn't.
I think I know what mine is.
There isn't good kills in this.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot, but they're not like standout. Maybe Richard breaks because he's getting bombarded into the walls.
Mine is goats, and not the first time he died. The mutant goat death.
Okay,
because of how just truly batshit insane it like, to rationalize it, you have to literally cut your brain in half.
You know what? I'm going to go with goat second death. I actually like that. I like that, Brian.
I like how we try to go through how it could actually be plausible, and it just can't be.
Yeah,
it can't be.
I'm on board.
I can't, like, it was insane.
This is the one that rams his head into the glass. Okay, let's go with that.
Like, he dies, right? And then he's resurrected because he becomes mutant goat. Even though we said he was good, so he's mutant goat, but he still has to have some human in him to kill himself so he doesn't become more of a mutant. But how do you do that once you already die, is the argument.
Brian, honestly, I feel like you're doing the eulogy right now.
Shane, if that's what you were going to say, I apologize, but like, it baffles. It's baffling.
Baffles. Shane,
you know what?
I need a small thing from you at least, even if Brian just steal your thunder.
No, it's okay. What are you going to do? What's the small... Oh, the small eulogy? Oh,
yes, press the button.
Goat.
Yes.
You know what I could say, though, about Goat? Brian touched on a lot, but I will say this. Goat is the first ever two-time death Necronomicon inductee. No one else has died twice in the same movie except Goat. You died once by neck suck. You died the second time by head bash. Does it make sense like Brian said? No. But we like to break records and start new trends. And maybe we're going to start doing new two-time deaths. How many other movies can people die twice in it?
Probably like
0.
1 or 2.
We're going to find them, and we're going to give you company, Goat. That is our mission. That is why we're putting you in the Necronomicon, because we're going to find you someone to hang with.
We'll find you a nice girl.
We got this. I'm going to do my research. To Goat.
We'll get Goat married in the Necro.
Goat.
You can live a happily ever after.
What a way to kick off Bad Movie January.
This is the start of Bad Movie January. And like it, so this was the kickoff. And Shane's been dying to review Doom.
Yeah, I have been.
We fit Doom in nice fit right in Bad Movie January.
Nice
but
and snug in there.
It surprisingly, or maybe I should say non-surprisingly, gets much worse from this.
Wow.
Yes. I'm gonna say the next movie we review
really doesn't, though.
is probably the worst of the 4. Next.
What are you talking about?
Next week we are reviewing The Bye Bye Man.
So one thing I actually couldn't believe was that this movie was released in 2017. For some reason, I thought Bye Bye Man was released much earlier.
It feels old.
It feels so fucking old, dude.
It is incompetence turned to like 55.
One thing we've reviewed a lot on this show is like teen horror.
Yes,
like
because they're fascinating.
It's a good genre.
It's a great genre. It's fun to watch. It's a genre that you know is going to be shitty movies, but like you can't help but continue to watch.
Maybe we do a month on them.
Yeah.
We got a bunch we want to touch upon.
You want to touch a
Wish
bunch
upon.
I actually low-key love that movie. That's like my guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
If Doom is your guilty pleasure, Wish Upon is my guilty pleasure.
Then we'll throw in Countdown for Matt.
That's another guilty pleasure, I think.
I actually love Countdown for
it's terrible,
once again for the side characters. The Doctor, Tom Segura.
Tom Segura is incredible.
The Priest.
Yeah, the Priest is also
all amazing.
Yeah.
So you want to touch upon a bunch of teens is what you're saying.
No. The
That's
horror
what I heard.
movies.
I heard that.
Okay.
That's what you said, Shane.
Yeah, we're gonna,
and that's not good.
No, we're
not good.
none of that was said. I said Wish Upon, Countdown. I think all of those movies. We're the final podcast signing off, and we will see you next week where we discuss what does a train, a dog, a coin, and a desk drawer all have in common.
That's true. Well, we are the final podcast. That's right. Please make sure to check out our website, thefinalpodcast.com, for all the content, as well as give us the 5-star we so nicely ask for every week on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. Please ensure to follow our social media accounts And also continue to watch us every Monday. We'll be here. No, bye-bye, man.
Missions, orders. Who goes there?